Sup fam, it's Musashden. Today's video is a body tutorial of sorts, just how I go through the process of drawing male bodies or the male figure in general, and then a quick speed paint of me drawing Daken Akihiro. First thing, after a quick plug of my DeviantArt page, first I take to Pinterest, which is actually a great place for drawing references. If you put in male anatomy, it actually brings up male anatomy instead of a bunch of dick pics like Google does. Yes, Pinterest is actually good for something other than DIY mason jar stuff. So usually I find a ref there and get cooking, but let's draw the body basics first. The most common method is to draw a head and then measure out 7 or 8 heads for the length of the body. I do recommend this even though I don't do it here. Again, I've been doing this so long that I use other methods. Drawing male pecs, I actually learned from another tutorial. Male pectorals actually have an octagonal shape. So if you're having a hard time getting them to look right, the basic shape is an octagon. Oh, and look at that. The basic shape of the torso is a triangle, an upside down triangle, just to make it nice and easy, and that's how you connect the torso to the legs. As for limbs and their lengths, most human proportions are equal, so here are a few things to keep in mind when drawing the body. The torso, the thigh, and the shin are all the same length. Fold your leg, your heel should reach your butt. Keep your knees to your chest, and your knees will come in right underneath your chin. Those are all the same length. The length from shoulder to elbow is the same as the length of the forearm. Bend your arm, your fingers should rest right on top of your shoulders. Elbows usually reach the middle of the torso. This is your waist. As for arm length, it varies from male to female. Men have longer torsos, so their fingertips will reach just under mid-thigh or higher. Women have shorter torsos, so our fingertips are going to reach mid-thigh or lower. Most men's hips are more narrow than their shoulders. The shoulder and hip width of a woman is typically the same. Men's hips tend to be more narrow because they don't have to give birth. Men's hips are also not round. Most of the time, if you see a man with round hips, it's more than likely his thigh muscles. Men have narrow hips and narrow butts. So after I get a basic idea of what I want to do, I look for a ref of some sort, and I just so happen to get one of this basic pose from a picture of this scarily muscular Asian man. I think he might actually be a doll, or I hope he's some kind of 3D rendering because his skin looks very plastic. I'm a little afraid of this dude. And it just so happens that I'm drawing an Asian character by the name of Daken. He's the half Japanese son of Logan, the Wolverine. His comic is worth the read, one, because he has one of the best evil to sort of good turnarounds that I've seen in a while. He's like if Logan didn't give a crap. Besides the bone claws and healing factors he gets from his daddy, he has something called pheromone manipulation, which basically means he can sweat in a way that makes people go crazy, or calm them down, or make them fall in love with him, or do his bidding. Yeah. He starts out straight up evil, dies a few times, and now I think he's fighting with his interdimensional lame-ass little brother Jimmy. Sorry, Jimmy Hewlett fans, but he's so boring compared to Daken. Now here I had to grab another reference, and I just used a 3D model, a posable 3D model in the program that I'm using, which is CSP. One more reason, Clip Studio Paint is an amazing program, especially for learning anatomy. The 3D model is great, and I could pose it however I need it just to see what I'm doing wrong. And I use it to help with his hand. And even if the model isn't exactly right, you can get it to pretty close to what you're doing. There's no shame in using references or even more than one ref, which is what I did for this, seeing how my original ref didn't have any legs. Drawing from life is using a reference. Looking at pictures is a reference. Use them. Learn from them. For any artist looking to improve, this is my go-to advice. Study and practice. That's the only way to improve what you're doing. There is no shortcut. You're not going to wake up yesterday drawing like your favorite artist. Just be patient. You'll get there. One day. Now see right here, I felt as though his head was too big, so I tried bringing his hair down, but I realized, nope, it's his entire head. That's just way too big. So just transform it, select it and transform and shrink him down. Just call me the witch doctor. So I shrink down his head, and another good tip for getting everything correct or looking upon something with new eyes to see the mistake is to flip the canvas that you're working on. And I know drawing on, paper is not so easy. You can step back at least 3 feet and look at it, or hold it up to the light and see the reverse side of it to see exactly what you're doing wrong. In CSP, it's super easy. They even have a little button where you can just flip the canvas real quick and then flip it again. They also have the arbitrarily tilting it so you can get curves like that and get them just right. As far as using references, I use them a lot because, especially when drawing men, because I am not a man, and because I can't exactly look in a mirror and see a man's body, I need a lot of references when drawing a man, especially a muscular one like Daken. And that was my old picture of him, where I had to go and pull his colors from, because I liked his colors that I gave him. I made him a little dark for a half Japanese, half white man, but I still like it. He probably gets out in the sun. That's what I imagine. He probably gets out in the sun more than I do, so it works for him. Daken's tattoo is shrouded in mystery. If he has a healing factor, how come his body just doesn't heal the ink right off his skin? And what is it? The first time I saw it, I immediately thought it was a dragon. The face and the eyes are on his chest. The legs and most of its body is on his back, as you can see. There are 2 tails, one that goes around his back and curls around the other side of his hip, and the other coils down around his arm. Incidentally, that arm keeps getting chopped off, and every time he grows it back, he has to get tattooed again. This is actually pretty funny. Anyway, that's what I think his tattoo is. I could be wrong. Okay, and that's pretty much it on this video. I drew Daken specifically for the video, so I don't think I'll be putting in his bone claws or a background or anything like that. Just drew him just to get a little anatomy practice and just to show off a little bit and to see if I could do his tattoo, which I feel like I could do better. I might be drawing this again. You can see this picture as well as a lot more on my DeviantArt page. That's it for this week's video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I update every Friday, and you can also follow me on DeviantArt and Instagram. I'm Musashden here, there, and everywhere. Thanks for watching. I know this video has nothing at all to do with Aretha Franklin, but she passed away while I was editing it, and I was listening to her music the whole time. Rest in power to the Queen of Soul. Respect always.